Hello guys, I hope you all are doing well and welcome back to my channel the Java Dev Hub. In this video we are going to discuss an interesting topic from web securities which is nothing but OAuth 2.0 security. If I am pronouncing it wrong, kindly correct me in the comment section. If you are a developer or else you are an enthusiastic to know how web applications provide security to our data, this video is meant for you and you must need to know auth securities. Okay, before getting into this video, let me introduce about myself. My name is Sheikh Amir Jan. I am an MCA graduate and I am currently working as a Java developer intern. Okay, let us dive into this video before getting further delay. In order to understand about OAuth 2.0 security, first of all you need to know some basic terminologies which we are going to commonly use to understand this topic. And the main two terminologies are authentication and authorization. Authentication. Okay, first let us discuss about authentication. Authentication is nothing but a process of checking whether a user is valid or not. Okay, let me take a simple example. While you are logging into your Gmail account or into your Facebook account, you need to enter your credentials, login credentials, which is nothing but your ID and your password. If you correctly enter those login credentials, then only you can able to access your account, or else you cannot able to access your account. It shows an error message that the user not found or else something. Means authentication commonly checks whether a user is valid or not. And authorization is a process that giving privileges or that giving access to the limited resources that a person can able to access. Means, okay, for this let me take a example. Okay, let us think someone is posting some picture in Instagram or in Facebook, and you're looking that post from your account and you want to delete that post, but you cannot able to delete because those privileges and those functionalities which only provided to the person who posted that post. Means from you cannot able to delete the post which is posted by others. Means you can only able to delete the things which you can post from your account. In simple terms, authentication is nothing but a checking whether the person is valid or not, and authorization means it can giving you access to perform a specific things. Okay, now we have understand about authentication and authorization. Let us dive into the history of auth. Auth. The main purpose of creating or developing an auth is to overcome security issues in web applications or in applications. To overcome security issues in applications or in web applications, OAuth 1.0 was introduced in the year 2007. By using OAuth 1.0 security, we can able to access or we can able to we can able to access third party applications without sharing the password. Sorry. By using OAuth 1.0 security, we can able to access third party applications without sharing our passwords. Means our passwords are secured. Many people thinks that OAuth security is not commonly uses our password and shares our password with third party application, which is completely wrong thing. Oath security does not takes or does not share our passwords with third party applications. It only shares access token, means which we access token which we are going to discuss in the further video. Let us focus in this. Okay, in OAuth 1.0 security there are some limitations and some issues which developers usually use it to face. To overcome those issues and those limitations, OAuth 2.0 was released in the year 2012, and OAuth 2.0 is offers improvement and more flexible when compared to other frameworks. And OAuth 2.0 is also known as authorized framework because it is mainly focused on authorization when than authentication. But in its processing, while processing it can also perform authentication. Okay, now OAuth 2.0 is commonly used as security, web security, and it is widely used in Google, widely used by tech giant companies like Google, Facebook, GitHub, and many more. Because by this standard and secured futures, many tech giant companies are going to use these things. Okay, now let us discuss the key terminologies in OAuth 2.0 security. The history you have. Okay, before understanding the key terminologies, let us understand what is OAuth 2.0 first. OAuth 2.0 is an security that provides that can able to access us third party application without creating an account in it and without sharing our password to the third party applications. Means if we want to access famous if we want to access our Netflix account, no need to, there are many ways to create an account in it. if we can if we select login via Google or login via Gmail or login via Facebook, in this process OAuth 2.0 security is used. Here we are not creating an account in it. We are using the account by the we are using the third party application, which is nothing but here the third party application is Netflix. Here we are using third party application by using our Gmail account or our Google account. By using those account, we are going to use that application, that third party application, and we are also not sharing our password with that. The main thing, okay, let me briefly tell about OAuth 2.0 security is the main process of or the main focus of the OAuth 2.0 security is accessing third party application without creating an account in it and without sharing our password with the third party application. This is the overall concept of OAuth 2.0 security. Okay, now let us discuss about the key concepts or key terminologies. Means, okay, before discussing these key terminologies, let us briefly look into what is OAuth 2.2. It is an authorized framework which we have already discussed, and it allows to access third party applications without sharing our data and without exposing our credentials to the third party application. For accessing user data, user do not have to share password with your application. Yeah, this point is which we have already discussed. In OAuth 2.0, access token, as access token by using access token, we can able to access those features and those resources from third party application. In There are many ways to implement OAuth 2.0 security based on our applications. Normally in IT sector, there are many projects. Based on the projects, OAuth 2.0 is implemented. We can able to access server to server integration, or we can able to access client to server integration, and many more things. Means server to server means there is no involvement of client. Client means nothing but a normal user. Without the involvement of the user, the integration which going to happen is known as server to server. And if the user is involved in the integration, then it is known as client to server integration. These are the two main integrations which is commonly used in OAuth 2.0. Okay, let us discuss the key concepts in OAuth 2.0. Grant type. Grant type offers multiple ways. OAuth 2.0 offers multiple ways of access. There are different types of grant types. Means in grant types there are different ways of giving grants. Authorized code. Yeah, here you can see that this first one is authorized code. In this, user need to be present to perform authorization code. User need to be performed. Okay, let me show this by using paint. Means paint, let me open it. Okay, suppose think this is our. Okay, let me finish, then I will explain you. Okay. Okay, let us assume this is our third this is our third party application, and this is our, let us assume this is our Google Gmail account, or let us assume this is our Google account which we are going to use to access a third party application. By using this Google account, we are going to access this third party application. By using this account, we are going to access this. In Google account there are mainly two things which are, okay, let me draw this first, after that I will explain. First one is resource server. In resource server, all the resources are present inside it. And the second one is authorized server. In this, it will authorize whether the user, what are all the privileges do we need to give to the user, and what are all the privileges do we need to give to this third party application, all those things. And let me draw an end user. No, let me take a time. I'm not good at drawings, kindly bear me with this. Okay, now this he here he is the client or he is the user. Now he wants to access the third party application by using his Google account which he already created. To perform this, first of all, he opened this application, the third party application, and he will select, first of all, this user will select login via Google or login via Facebook. Those things, let me write it. First step is select login via Google option to access that account. This is our first step. After selecting this third party application redirects him to the Google web page. Redirect URL. It will provide an redirect URL to the Google page. Now in this step he went to here. In this third step, login with his credentials. Login. Now this user login into his Google account with his credentials. Okay, now you may think that while logging, the third party application can able to see or can able to access our password, but it redirects the user into Google's web page. Means there is no involvement of third party application when we are logging into our Google account. Means our Google account hold our login credentials in its home page. Okay, after logging that, it will show us the privileges to approve which are asked by the third party application. Fourth step, Google account shows us, asks our approval, asks our approval. Means if this third party needs to access our data or to access our location, means what are all the things which the wants to access, these are all things are checked. Means Google provides us a menu, and in this menu there are some permissions. Let us assume there are some 4 permissions. Wait, let me draw it. For these 4 things, Google by default set, wait, By default, Google gives a checkboxes for every one option. There is one checkbox which is by default marked as select. These checkboxes are by defaultly select. We must, whenever we are going to log in or we are going to sign up via Google into a third party application, we must need to check what are all the privileges and what are all the improvements we are going to give to that application. Mainly the data bridges or data thefts are going to happen in this phase only, because this third party, if the third party application has some, means they are having some cruel thoughts in there, means some of the applications may ask your location, and some of the applications are also asks about your contact details and your images. All those things, this all are we need to, first of all we need to know what are all the things we need to give to access that account, and what are all the things which it is accessing, it is asking for our approval, whether this is required for that application or not. We need to be secure and we need to take decisions wisely. After this, it will, now whenever we give approval to that, Google provides us a token, access token. Now here access token comes in the picture. This access token, Google send this access token. Google redirects us from Google web page to this third party application. Along with that, it also sends access token. Now we are in the fifth step. It is not providing directly access token, it will provide authorized code. This authorized code is valid for some limited time, means mostly these are valid for 8 to 9 hours normally. And if we want to access this application, then it can able to refresh. Some of the applications can provide auto refresh for refreshing token, and take more time, or else we need to do all these steps, means or else we need to again log in into our Google account to access the third party application when the time of this authorized code is completed. Now, okay, the main thing I forgot to tell you the is, whenever the third party applications need to access or needs to log in via Google, need to access an option login via Google, first of all there are mainly two things. It need to create an application, and application to the Google. It need to create an Google application, Google app. When it, when the third party application create an Google app or an application under the Google, then Google provides it client ID and client secret. These are the main things, client ID and client secret. By using this client ID and client secret, along with along with the authorized code. They are going to access our data from our Google account which we got approved. Okay, let me write it down here. First of all, Google gives our authorized code to the third party application, and it also already had client ID, client secret. By using these three things, this third party application sends request to our resource server. The sixth step is this third party application sends request to access our resources. In our resources server, it may contains our data, our address, our location, all those things. And to access this, first of all, these all things are verified by authorized server. Once authorized server get verify this, then only it provides resource resources from resource server. From sixth step, after sixth step, now oh, let me draw it here. Now in seventh step, here is the text. Now in the seventh step, it will in seventh step it will verifies our data. Okay, it must be should be not here. In seventh step should be here, somewhere here. Okay, let me write it down here. After that, once it once this authorized server approves our data, this is the seventh step, and now we need to write our eighth step. It will provides us access token. Okay, let me change the size of the font. Access token. Now our third party application gets an access token. By using this access token, it can able to access our resources. Okay, in ninth step, our third party application sends our the access token which is generated by Google account to the Google account to verify. After verification, okay, let me write. This is the ninth step. Ninth CN sends access token to verify. After verification, this Google account gives this Google account gives us the resources which we want to access. This is the 10th step. Means we think that there is nothing great in it. We can directly click the login via Google option. After that we can give approval or continue button. When we press it, it is completed, and we do not know this are all the things going to happen in background. This is a lengthy process, but it is going to happen in milliseconds, fraction of seconds. And the 10th step is giving all the approved resources to the third party application. This is the thing going to happen whenever we are going to log in via Google. Sorry. Okay, now let me write down the steps one by one. Let me open a word. Notepad. Let me open my notepad. Let me open it. Okay, let us write all these things. What are all the process which going to happen when we log in via Google? The first step is user clicks on login via Google account. After that, the third party application provides us some this third party applications provides us redirect URL. Then user needs to log in into his Google account by using his credentials. After that, Google account Google asks for approval, and those are by defaultly checked in the checkbox. And the fifth one is our once we get approved, or once we give approval to the Google to access those all things to the third party application, then Google redirects us to the third party application along with the authorized code. Google redirects us to the third party app along with authorized code. Sixth point. Now the third party application already created and Google an application under Google means it is already created an app in Google Play Store, like those things, or it is already registered in the Google. The third party application already have login ID and secret by using those two things along with authorized code. Now now our third party application have all these things. Now our third party application sends a request to access our our data or our resources. It will send all this data to the Google account or authorized server in Google account. 7th step is Google checks or Google checks or authenticates whether the data provided by the third party application is valid or not. After that, if the data provided by the third party application is valid, then Google provides us access token to third party application. This is the 8th step. After 8th step, the 9th step is now third party application sends access token to the now third party app uses access token when the user uses the third party application. If the provided access token by the third party application is valid, then Google provides us Google provides the resources which we approved to give access to the third party application. These are all the steps which is going to happen. Okay, let us discuss. Okay, now let us discuss what are all the grant types and which one we used in our previous process. In our previous process, we see this terminology authorized code grant. Means in authorized code grant, we need to have an user who is going to use, who is involved in this process while while giving the permission or while giving the privileges to access our application, our Google account to the third party application. Okay, in this user interaction must be involved. Yes, you can see here. Yes, it is marked as yes. Now client credentials. In client credentials, we need not to have an user. Let me explain it with diagram. Here, when in client credentials, the user involvement is not required. Means these are all the steps which do not evolve in credentials. In client credentials, the process which is going to happen is, assume this is our Google account and this is our third party application. Our third party application have only client ID and client secret. It does not have authorized code because authorized code is generated only if the user is present in the process. Because he in this process there is no user, so authorized code is not generated. We have these two things in our third party application. We are going to send the first step in client credentials is we are going to send our client id and client secret to the Google account. We are going to send client id and client secret to the Google account. Then Google account checks whether the provided client id and client secret is valid or not. If it is valid, then it will provide us access token. Then by using this access token we can able to access the resources which is provided by Google. Here we are not going to use a resources of this user. We are going to use the resources which are provided by Google, not and which are provided by the Google, the data of the user. In such cases, client credential grants are used. Commonly in IT sector, there are mainly focusing on these two grants only. These are all not widely used. Refresh token grants means when the authorized code gets expired, at that time we need to go to the process go to the process from starting. Means we need to go to login via Google. We need to do all such things. In order to neglect those things, or in order to save the time, we can able to access refresh token grant. Means it will provide us an token, and it will provide us a refresh token along with the authorized token. Whenever we are going to refresh or whenever our authorized token time validity gets expired, it will create a new authorized token. It will save our time, our lot of time. Okay, let us discuss the next thing. Scope. Scope is nothing but the privileges or the things. Okay, let me open the diagram. Here, this all the permissions which we are going to grant is nothing but a scope. Means what are all the things which we are going to give permissions to access the third party applications. All those things are comes under scope. Okay, authorized server. We all know that authorized server, the server which is going to issue access token is authorized server. And resource server. Resource server holds some resources. All those things. Client application. The application that requests means that the client application is nothing but an third party application. And authorized code generation. These are all the steps we had followed. We had followed to generate access token or to access the third party application without creating an account or without sharing our password with the third party application. Okay, we have understand this client credential grant. Okay, explore the authorized request, authorized grant. We have covered everything. Authorized code grant. Please, we need not to access this security AP access token request. all those things we have covered. Implementation of implementing OAuth 2.0 in web applications. Now we are going to discuss these concepts. Web client, that web applications that interacts with the user, means we can able to access this OAuth 2.0 with the interaction by interacting with user, or we can able to authorize, means the main thing here they are focusing is we can able to access client to server or server to server authorization. This is the thing in which is going to describe in this ppt. Okay, these are all the things. These are all the challenges which we are going to face while we are going to participate, or we are going to do in our 2.0 security. We need to provide a safe place to store our access token, means we need to provide security to our tokens. If our tokens get corrupted or our tokens get attacked, then it is a haptic situation, means it will provide us a big issues. Means user can able to access our data, and user can able, and hacker can able to access users data, and hacker can able to access all his, means personals data, his contact numbers, each and everything which are synced to his Google account. And token expiration, this is the thing, whenever the token get expired, the user needs to log in again, or else user need to, or else we need to, we can able to use refresh token also. We can take care of it. Token expiration, we need to know, we need to create an application when the token generated by the user get expired, then need not, user should not be able to use our application and protect against attacks. I hope you all are understand the concept of OAuth 2.0 security. I had give my best to explain this concept to you guys. I hope you all are, I hope you all guys like this video. If you have any further doubts, kindly let me know in the comment section. I will try to clarify those doubts. Thank you. Thank you for watching this video. Please hit the like button and subscribe and share this video if you found it informatively with your friends. Thank you. Thank you.